Hi, I'm Joseph. I'm going to be talking about everything to do with Ultimate, including its interesting history, skills, how to improve those skills, and starting with history. In 1942, in Kenyon College, a rudimentary version of Ultimate was made. Later, in the 60s, students from Amherst College picked up on Ultimate, and even went further in its development. Although it was not exactly how it is today, it still holds some elements. A few years later, in 1968, Jared Cass, a student from Amherst College, taught that version of Ultimate to high school student Joel Silver. He later officially created Ultimate and made the first ever game in 1968 at Columbia High School. In the early 70s, Ultimate started to get more organized and had its first ever league in 1970 and first ever tournament in 1975. From the 80s all the way up to the early 90s, Ultimate disc manufacturers struggled to make higher and higher quality discs until Ultimate Leagues chose Discraft's Ultrastar, leaving their old manufacturer Ramo, who made their discs for all the years prior. After this, Ultimate became extremely popular sport, to the point where a woman named Ann Watson got officially recognized as a varsity level sport in America during late 2017. Now onto the rules. Ultimate is played on a 100-meter by 37-meter field with 18-meter long end zones. Each team has 7 players. Games go by whoever has 15 points first, or whoever has more points by the 100-minute timer. There's a halftime break and 2 timeouts per halftime. Halftime starts when one team gets to 8 points, no matter what. Each play starts with both teams lining up on their end zones, and one team throwing it to the other, and ends when one team catches the frisbee in the opposite team's end zone. After each point, the team becomes the defense team and starts to throw the disc to the other side. If a player is caught doing something illegal, then it is up to the players to decide whether they should call it or not. If a pass is intercepted, then it is received by the other team and start play again. Moving out from your end zone before the other team has thrown the disc is another violation, including the defending team. Contact is not allowed whatsoever, and a player blocking must stay at least 1 foot away from the thrower. After catching the frisbee, you are only able to move using a pivot foot. Now time for the main skills. Although holding a frisbee is different depending on whether you're doing forehand or backhand, the main thing to worry about is keeping the frisbee parallel to the ground at all times.
The way to hold a forehand thrown disc is to keep 2 fingers underneath the frisbee with your thumb gripping the top, in this orientation. The way to have good forehand throw form is to have both feet planted firmly on the ground with the side you're throwing behind. Bend both knees slightly and lean backwards to give yourself the most amount of space. With your arm curled up to your shoulder, and as soon as you want to throw, lean forward slightly and flick your wrist as soon as your arm has reached full extension. To hold a frisbee in the backhand throw, you must wrap your index finger around the frisbee while keeping a comfortable grip on both the top and bottom. For good backhand form throw, you have a similar foot setup to forehand throws, except your throwing side is facing out. You have your arm curled around your body, and when you throw, bend towards your throw and release as your arm is fully extended with another flick of the wrist. Jumping. Although not extremely useful in Ultimate, it is good for either one-hand catches that aren't in your reach or to hit a frisbee out of the air to take possession. Running. Similar to jumping, you aren't actually sprinting in many games of Ultimate, but there is a lot of short distance running and cutting out of the ways of the opposite team. Catching. To catch effectively, you must have both feet firmly on the ground. You should try to receive at the center of your chest. Running catches should only be used if someone is guarding you or the thrower. One-hand catches should only be used if the throw is out of your reach and no one else is around to grab it, or to intercept an opponent's throw, or if a large group of people are jumping for the frisbee. Guarding. Keep your arms in front of their arms to easily block the frisbee, and keep your head and body to try to take up as much space as possible. Now for the workouts and drills. Some effective workouts are throws and catches at 10-meter distances, 30-meter distances, and 50-meter distances to increase your effective range. a guarding drill to get better at either guarding or throwing while guarded, angled catches to help you learn to protect the landing of a throw, and cutting drill for better quick left or right movement. Some effective gym workouts would be one-arm cable fly and lat raises for more power in your throws, and incline running, squats, lunges, box jumping, and 15-meter sprints, all to increase either jumping power or speed. Thank you for listening, and links to the workouts are in the description.